Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, why don't you subscribe to the channel for future content, and you'll see woodworking, metalworking. But today I'm going to be building a chair. I've built a chair before, maybe quite unconventional in the way that I put it together, but this is the chair that I had built before. It's a kid's chair, and that's the one I'm going to be doing again. Just a wee small kid's chair. Just built the frames, mortise and tenon. Two sides I had built, joined the sides, and then I simply made a flat bit of wood here and glued it on. But after a year, I've noticed there's a wee bit of cracking. So no doubt it's moving and cracking, so it's not particularly good for the way that it's done, so I want to try and improve that. But nonetheless, it works, and it's pretty sweet, and my daughter loves it, so that's all that matters there. But anyway, the day I'm going to be trying, well, the day it'll be the week, is a chair like this. So basically we're going to have one big base, the seat itself, and then everything is going to be mortised and tenoned into that base there. So I've never built a chair like that before. I've got a rough idea of the techniques and the methods to make like to join it all together like that. So going to give it my best go. That's all we can do. Just give our best go. Trial and error. We make mistakes, we learn from it, but we should never be intimidated by something because we've never done it before. To me, when I've not done something before like that, I don't look at it as a problem. It's a challenge, and I prepare myself into the challenges like that. So, rough idea of how I'm going to do it. I've got a wee rough sketch there. The proportions, the dimensions like that, I've got to be roughly about the same as that one, just a wee bit bigger. I'll get them written down so I know myself like that, and I'll show you the process. But I'm kind of looking forward to this one, kind of a wee bit but again, gonna dive into it, so why don't you join me? Let's get to it. Let's go. So I've had all this wood sitting here drying for, all that's been there for maybe 2-3 months now, and it was down sitting in a den for a good year. So I know that all this stuff is dry enough to use for furniture. So I'm going to use these bits here to make the back spindles. I'm going to use these 3 bits here. There's a 3, there should be, might be all bits. 3 bits there I'm going to use for the legs. This is going to be the back legs that run up the top, and the back legs, sorry, and then the back legs and front legs, I should be able to go to this, and then the supports for the legs with this bit. I've got many of that type of wood. I'm pretty sure it's the same wood there. That's the same wood. That's the same wood. I've got another bit there. So, but I think that's a different type of wood. But so it's probably got to be a mix of different wood. But the actual baseboard, the seat itself, I've got a big bit of pine down there, so I'm going to use the pine. No, I'm not too sure of the strength, the tension of the woods and all that, and how they'll last. But I'm going to give my best go, and I think I might stain it after. But I'll see when I get to that point if I like the look here or no. Like this one here, I thought this one was pretty cool. Just all the different types of wood in that, but we'll see how this one turns out, and then we'll get to it. I'm just going to go and get this big bit of pine, and then that's the first thing we'll do, is we'll cut the shape of the actual seat for this bit of pine. So let's go and get that. So I've got this this big bit here. I don't know if it's pine or cedar or beech or something. I'm not very good at identifying woods, but I'm going to use this for the seat bit. I've had this in my my den, call it my den, but it's where I store wood. It's been in here since I built this workshop, so that's 2 years now it's been in there. So this is going to be nice and dry. So I'm going to make a template and then we'll lay it out and we'll cut it out with a jigsaw. So let's get to that. So I've got this bit on my workbench now, and I'm just looking at it because I don't want any of these knots to be in the seat, and there's not really a good place to get it, but I found one place right there, and losing a lot of this wood, but my thought is to just cut it down here, down here, down here, down here, get the square out, and then I can cut the profile out on the bandsaw, and then I can, these bits will at least not be scrapped and they can be used for other things. So that's probably my best idea, and there's no knots in this bit, so we're going to go with that. Well, that's it. And to be honest, I guess I did not look close enough because I was sure that I had missed all the knots, but some knots there. But this is the tap, and that's going to be the bottom, and the legs, I should be alright. Just a knot there, there's no cutting, I'm not doing anything with that bit. Legs will be about here, front legs, back legs, here, so we should be alright. And then the spindles themselves will only be going on like 2/3 of the way. I don't know if I'm going to do them all the way through. I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to drill them about 2/3 of the way, so we'll be good. So I got it all, but just going to clean up the sandal now. Well, that's it. And to be honest, I guess I did not look close enough because I was sure that I had missed all the knots, but some knots there. But this is the tap, and that's going to be the bottom, and the legs, I should be alright. Just a knot there, there's no cutting, I'm not doing anything with that bit. Legs will be about here, front legs, back legs, here, so we should be alright. And then the spindles themselves will only be going on like 2/3 of the way. I don't know if I'm going to do them all the way through. I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to drill them about 2/3 of the way, so we'll be good. So I got it all, but just going to clean up the sandal now. From a rough shape there. When I say rough because I'll still need to do planing, use my spoke shave, other tools to get this down to the right shape that I want it to be, which I've not quite decided that yet, you know, because it's maybe just carve these bits out, just wee recesses in this bit here, with a chisel, and then just sand it off smooth. I need to think about that one a while. So I've not really got anywhere to plane big bits, so I just sort of made this wee jig here, just a bit of MDF for painting it. Wee back bit there, this wee bit here that goes into my vise. I can put it there like that, open my vise up, and I can lock it in place. and I'm going to use the spoke shave to go around the sides of it, chamfer the sides, and then I'm just going to sandpaper it so it's all nice and smooth. Don't want any hard corners on it, but not like to talk so much on this, but like with planes, it's pretty difficult to use a plane and to dimension wood up, but with plenty of practice, trial and error, you can do it even by eye, by feel. There's a lot of tools to use to see if you've got things straight and in balance. I use these winding sticks, they're called. Basically you would put it there, get down to eye level with it, and you'll see if if this one's higher up in relative position to this, you'll know that this bit's a wee bit higher, take a wee bit off that, and so forth. You do that until you see it's all flat, even, and uniform. But to be honest, something that size like that, we'll just do it by eye and by feel. But it's important when you've got long stuff to make sure there's no twists or bends in it. Like so, these wee tools are important, obviously. But we're pretty good here, pretty flat. We're good. So next, I'm just going to put it in the vise, and as I said, I'm going to chamfer, smoothing all these edges out, because for the end I just want a sort of wee bit of circle shape on it, like, even though it'll not be completely circle, but I wish I get the hard edges away. So I'm just going to start putting that wee chamfer on it now with the spoke shave. And again, you need a sharp tool, sharp spoke shave to do this. Like, I think mine's should be sharp enough. We will find out just now. So, after using the spoke shave, getting a good bit of material off, getting a wee light sand, pretty happy with that. It's nice and smooth, no rough edges. Brought the sides down a wee bit more here, brought these bits up a wee bit more because there's wee legs going to be here. But that's all I'm going to do on that now. I will need to mark out where all the spindles are gone, mark out on the back, the legs, but I want to make them first, so that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get to making the legs, so let's get to that. So I need 50 centimetres in all, so let's go set this here. I'm just going to mark this right there, 50 right there, right. my square. Like that there. Like that there. And then that'll be 25. 25 as well. A bit there. Yeah. So I'll get my legs out of these. So I'll make it more precise. They will be my 4 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll be my 4 legs, which I'm actually going to cut into this length here. So I'm just going to take that measurement, and I'll put my fence on the table saw to that, and I can rip them through, and we'll get them all the same size. But first we use the cross cut sled to cut them off. Well, at least cut this bit here, this bit here. Then we can rip them to the size that we want, the thickness, which is this size here. So let's get to that. So there we go. And now I just need to put the sled back on and cut these to the final size, and then I'll get to shaping them with a spoke shave. I think we're just going to make them like circular with a taper at both ends, so they'll be bulgier here, bigger here, and then we'll get them tapering just slightly smaller. No too much, just to get that wee bit of look. So let's get to that. So there we go, that's the 4 legs all cut, and I think it's a kind of nice contrast colouring wise, but again I don't know if I'm going to stain it or no, so we'll see. But the next job is to get these fairly spherical in shape, circle in shape, tapering at each end. And then we'll make the backboards, the back bits, the spindles. And once I've got all them cut, then I can start to lay the lines for where my mortises are going to be. So let's get to that. So before I start shaping these with a spoke shave, I need to figure out what size tenon I want on this, and I found this auger bit here as it's only the right one, as 16mm. So I will shape these down to that size, but before I do that I need to mark the middle, because I want to leave a sort of bulge here in that 1/3, and then I'll shape this point here as the tenon, and I'll bring this down to the 16mm bulge here, take this down a wee bit more, less than the 16mm at this point. Once I do that, I can figure out my angle that I'm going to sit the seat at, because I'm not going to put them in just straight. I want them at a, you know, ever slight wee angle. So once I've got them shaped to the right size, I will figure that out for the actual seat, and then drill the whole the mortises for them to go in. Once I've done that, I can get them all in the seat, and then I can work out where to put the other spindles, the other I don't know the right terminology for the bits there, but once I've got them in, I can work on these bits here. I can't remember what you call the bits, but get them all in, and then I can work out the size that they need to be. Cut them down. Once I've cut them down, shaped them to the size I want, then I can think about the mortise that I need to drill in them, because these mortises will need to be drilled at an angle as well, because obviously the legs themselves are going to be sitting at an angle. So it's something that I'll need to I'll need to work that out as I get to it. But this is what I like about woodworking and that, you know, it's about problem solving. So I'm going to get to shaping the legs now, and then we'll work this out once we get to it. So it's that one there. I'll keep this one out, and I'll be hand drilling these. I've got an old hand drill there, so that's what we'll be using. So just gonna mark here. These are, I've cut them to just 1 centimetre below the length I wanted. I wanted them 25, but them being 24 it's no biggie like that. So I'm just going to mark these halfway at 12. What is it? 12.2. So just make sure these are straight line with each other. And again, but once I assemble the seat and all that, more than likely it might have a wobble, a rock, twist, whatever, and then we'll cut the legs down to the desired size, so that they all sit in the ground perfectly. So I'm just going to mark this now. Just double check. It was the 24 3. So I 20, 12, 1.5. A bit there. A bit there, right. So just sort of put these together. There we go. Just go right down the wall. Just so I've got that reference, and so I'll get to that. So we're looking to get take this down to this right here, which again, but I don't know if wanting it just a wee bit smaller maybe. I do know that when you're making furniture, when it comes to the mortise, they will use a tapering jig. Can't remember the actual name for it, but it just puts a taper in the mortise so it's like a cone shape. But I've not got that tool, so I'll just need to make do what I've got. But we'll solve that problem when we get to it. For the now, I'm just going to take these down to 16 and I will leave a slight taper on them. I'll leave a slight taper on them like that, so let's get to that. So that's me made the mortises that go into the seat, and I'm just going to keep refining the legs a bit more. Just get them tapering down just a wee bit, but no much. Just make them a wee bit more circular. Wee bit of sanding and we can call them done. And then we can drill the holes into the seat, put these in. No doubt, just refining, testing, you know, take a wee bit of material off, testing again, material off, testing until we get that right fit. Then we can look at putting making the bits that join these to that join on these. We'll make them, find out the right angle for them. So I'm just going to continue with this for now. And there we go. There we go. They've turned out better. What's that wet? They've turned out better than what I could have hoped. Yep. And I've made sure that they're all, was it 16mm? And I think obviously as when I cut the hole, the mortise in the actual seat itself, I'll need to refine these down there because I don't have a tapering mortise jig, like, you know, it's basically just widens the tap whilst leaving the bottom. It widens the bottom whilst leaving the tap, creating a funnel shape. I've not got that. I could make one, but I'll no bother doing that now. We'll solve the problem as we come to it. Like, pretty sure that I can sort that as we come to it. Even just using a chisel and just taking wee slices off until we've got a nice tight fit. We don't want like too loose a fit, but just a nice tight fit. And then once we do that, then we can move on to the other bits. So let's get on to them. Hey guys, so I've sort of come up with a wee system here, how I'm going to get the mortises cut at the right angle. So I still need to clamp this down, but I basically got this line straight on with this gauge, with this mirror here, and I've got the angle finder, or the bevel gauge, set at where I want my legs to be. So by putting this in the right hole, I can use the mirror to line the auger bit up with the bevel gauge. I can look at that down there, and I can see that it's at the right angle, and then I can use this line here to make sure that I'm straight on, and I'm going to go right through it. So I need to clamp this down first. I might drill wee pilot holes through as well, or I think I'll just drill right through it. I just don't want to have tear out at the back, so I might, once I get to the back with a screw on the bottom of the auger bit, I'll just turn it around and finish it off in that way. But that's how I'm going to do it, and I should get fairly precise mortises with this, as long as I keep that angle, this bit right here. Well, I keep this bit in line with the bevel gauge, which I'm looking at through the mirror, and that should work. Do this for this side, reverse this around, line it up again with this line here with the mirror, move it there, make sure it's all straight. Use this line again to make sure that I'm straight, I'm on the right angle this way, and I should have fairly precise uniform mortises for my legs. So I'm just going to set that up now, and I'll show you me doing the first one. So let's go on with that. So I've got this set up now, it's clamped down. This bevel gauge I've got sitting, 6mm to the left of this line, so that when I put the auger bit to that, I can line the bevel gauge with this bit, and I'll know that I'm straight on, got the right angle. As long as I've got it measured up, as long as I keep it straight with this line, I'll be fine. So I'm looking in the mirror, making sure I'm keeping that right angle, keeping it straight with this line here, and then I'm going to just start going with it. Now I could use a cordless drill. You know, a cordless drill would probably be more far accurate or easier to use, you know, like, but I like using hand tools. There's something about hand tools and doing it that way rather than just letting machines do it. So I like to discipline myself and practice using hand tools. So I'm just gonna make sure that's straight, push my weight in it, keep that same angle there, and just on we go, right. So it's the same procedure. I've lined it up for the back, bevel gauge with the mirror, straight on, and I'm going to use this again to get the right angle and get my mortises done. So start with this back one, make sure it's on the same, line it up my bevel gauge with the mirror, just make sure I'm on that way, but there. Straight on with this line, and I guess these ones are crucial. Right, so about there, straight and straight. Oh, I've drilled right into my bench and that. Look, that's all right. All this bench and all that will be different by next week. Look. Right, so I'm in the right bit there. Right, so this is no, we're all right. We've not completely messed up. We've got the right bits in. Aye. We've not completely messed up. We're a wee bit off, look. But to me, that's a success. I think this one here's a wee bit off. But again, the stretchers will sort that, look. And again, I need to enlarge these holes, so as long as the stretchers themselves are accurate. Aye, that's well off, that one. What have I done with that? What have I done with that one? Aye, that one's well off. This one is well off, man. What have I done there? Look. Oh, you see, I've drilled more coming in this way. Look. Obviously, I was wanting straight on. Can fix that, but by enlarging the hole, making it this way a wee bit. All the rest of them, they're all sitting fine. Just this one here. You can see that. You see it's just sort of, sitting off, you can. All the rest of them are fine. Drilled the rest of them spot on, but that one there. Need to think about that one. I guess I could fill it in and re-drill it. But to me that's an extreme, because I think that can be sorted, look. I think that can be sorted, look. So just gonna end it here now. Gonna think about that and we'll be back in a minute. I'll turn that video off there and I've got that back on, but just get this enlarging bit. And I've just went in like that. So I know that 20mm was about doing there, but again, even if I go off a wee bit, go more than 20mm, it's fine, because I want the tapping to stick out, because I'm gonna put a cut in them, and when they stick out the tap here, I'll put a wedge in it, and that will stop them from falling out. Apparently that's what the pros say, so I'll do what they say, they know best. Just enlarge these holes. They won't tell fibs. It is far more difficult than I first thought to make one of these chairs. Look. This needs to be masked a wee bit more. But it's a learning process, isn't it? So I'm just going to fire on with this, adjust, test, until I get them all right, and we'll be back when we're going to make the cider bits for it, the stretchers. So back in a minute. So I've marked just 20 centimetres on this. I'm just going to cut this down the now, and then we'll measure up size of the stretchers, which are just going to be wee thin stretchers, and then we'll cut them with a fence. So that's what I'm going to get to the now. So just before I shape these down, which I could have shaped them down first, but it's a wee step I'd forgot today, just to mark out where they're actually going to go, and the positions, because they're set at an angle, so they'll need to be drilled at an angle. So I need to think about that. Now they're all through as much as I want them to come through. This one's a wee bit tight in there because it's sitting there this way a wee bit. But I'm just going to keep it simple, but like, really I want the, it's this one here. Really I'm going to, I don't know, but this bulge here, the thickest part, so that's 10 centimetres, so I'm just going to put a wee mark there. Alright, just a wee mark there, 10. So same process as with the legs. I want these to be about 9mm. About 9mm, so it's just about shaping these bits, leaving a bit of a bulge here, and then I'll smooth them off with the sander. Look. So let's go get to that. I was thinking, really I'm doing it wrong, because I don't really think that's how they're put together. Because I was thinking, if I'm drilling the holes here and here, I'm seriously weakening the width. So my best bet there, put them in there like that, to space these evenly, and then to get one in here, to push them apart evenly. I think that is a better option, but I've not really made these thick enough, these big enough. Might get away with it if I short them down a wee bit more, but I think that's the better option today. That's the last of that width as well, so I'll probably have to measure it somewhere, but I think I'll get a bash doing that anyway. So next, I'm going to clean these up on the sander, just round them off and that, clean them up, and then I'll get to drilling these holes, which, if I'm honest, I'm a wee bit apprehensive and nervous about, because, you know, I'm not really too sure about it. I've got a rough idea. I've got my marks laid where I want them 10mm up. I think I'll use this. But how do I know I'm straight with my drill bit? I could make an extra long drill bit, line it up with a 10mm there, turn that just a wee bit, drill in, and I'll know I'm straight if I'm lined up with a 10mm mark on this side. I should be alright. Don't need that. Should be alright, but we'll see. So, gotta get sanded. So there is the spindles for the back. So I've got all the pieces of the chair there, and I'm just going to get everything. I just got to get a dry fit, see if it all fits, and looks cool, looks good. So it's getting a bit late. So I'm just going to dry fit it now, and we shall finish it tomorrow. What number is that? 2, so we are there like that. Number over there, 1, so we are this way, we are this way. Let's get this in here. There's a little dry fit. So I'm going with this here, this bit. I think I might have these on the wrong way. No. Oh, 4, I've got them mixed up. No. still dry fit, but and I think that's rather alright for my first go, but we're not finished yet because I need to glue it up. Oh wait, I need to take the legs out and put a wee cut in them, go on with the grain and make wedges. And then glue it up and then drive the wedges in here to separate that so they don't come out. But before I do any of that as well, but it needs a good sanding done. Go through the grits, make it nice and silky smooth. Look, if it's all a bit rough. Look. So that is what I'll be doing next. So I've made these wee wedges on the bandsaw, but I don't really know about them, to be honest. They might work, but I'm going to just try and cut my end just with a chisel and see how that works out. Look. Yeah, sharp chisel. Let's just see how that works. If I can get better ones like this. So just got to proceed with this to now. And then we'll get back and move it to glue. So that's at the point where all the pieces are made. I made the final pieces there, the wee wedges, and I sawed a wee thin line between the wood and the top of the leg pieces. So I'm going to get to assembling, got glue, we'll get everything we need, assemble the legs, put the top on, put the spindles in, the top bit, and then we'll let it dry. So let's get to it. We just must wait for it to dry. Once it's dried, we can cut these off. And might just cut them off like that. And then just use a wee chisel to go around them and get them level with the seat. So now it's a waiting game to let them dry. So it's all nice and dry now, dry enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these off here just for the top, and then I'm going to use a sharp chisel to chisel down just so they're nice and flat. And then after we do that, we are going to cut these flat, level with the ground anyway, and we'll make sure they're the same length so there's no wobble to it. So let's get to that. tough grain. But that's basically what I'm doing. And that's the one I've got to tear it as well. But it's getting a wee sand down after. So I'm just going to proceed doing the last three and getting a wee sand down. I'll have a look at it then. Use this to cut these to the best of my ability. And I've got it held in the vise. I'm going to hold on to it myself, and I'm just going to make light passes. Right, I'm just taking a couple of these slices after this, but I can see the wee high spot right there, so just got to take a couple of these slices off with it. Flat flint. Let's see. Smaller. Just have a slightly bit right here. There we go. Sweet, sweet. So I just cut the rough corners off it, made them a bit smoother. I'm happy with that. Just as long as you've not got the grain edges hitting the ground all the time, I think that might cause a wee bit of breakout, but again, I'm not quite sure since it's my first time making a chair like this, but I think that's alright. Now let's stain it. So I've got this antique pine, it is, satin. So I'm going to give this a couple of coats to the chair, and I'll get back to you when I've done it. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that. I know that I enjoyed making it. It was certainly a challenge for me. There was a lot of challenges that I had to overcome. There was a lot of problems that I had to solve because I had never made a chair like this before. So getting all the angles right, especially the angles for these, the angles for these, the holes. Aye, it was definitely a challenge, but I definitely enjoyed it. And although I have made quite a few wee mistakes and errors in making it like that, it doesn't take the uniqueness away from it and the beauty of what it is. You know, it's just a wee kid's chair like that, but it's a traditional spindleback chair, and I think it looks amazing, and I certainly know that my wee daughter's gonna love it. So that's all that matters to me. Like that, you put your heart and you put your best into it like that. That's all that matters. So aye, it's rather cool looking. I'm definitely going to make some chairs again. Therefore, make some different ones, different style ones. I really wanted to do it's following the culture here of that, but I never had anything on hand to bend hardwood, which hardwood is not that easy to bend. But so I'm definitely going to give the whole chair making a go again, because I can definitely build it a lot better, making this bit thinner. These bits definitely are a bit thicker. But aye, so I didn't need to use like all the wood that I thought that I had to use. I was going to use 3 types of wood, but I only used the 2 because I didn't know if I was going to put the stain on it, the colour on it. So I didn't want it to be all mix and mash of different colours, so I just used the pine and then the dark oracle. So that's why I'd made these thin like that, because I didn't want to use a different type of wood for this than what I did the legs. But pretty happy with it. Hope you enjoyed watching that, guys. I think I'll make a short video, compact time-lapse video of building this, and then maybe an in-depth one like that. So if you're watching the short one and you want to watch the in-depth, actually step-by-step process of how I built this, then go and check my other videos out. If you want to watch the time-lapse one, videos. But I appreciate every single one of you guys who watch my videos. I hope you enjoy the content of my channel. If you're new here and you like the content, the videos like that, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. Definitely helps my channel grow. So come again for the next video, guys. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this. Go into the comment section, tell me what you think of the chair. If you think that I can improve it, better ways of making it, ideas for different designs and that. Nonetheless, I enjoyed building it. So I will see you in the next video, guys. Alright? You just take care and build something. Take it easy, guys.